So we're almost ready. Uh, we'll start in about 12 minutes. Again, in the meantime, if you have questions, inquiries, drop us a message in the chat. If you guys are in TikTok, I can see your messages. Hello, guys. For those who are in Zoom room right now, good morning. I hope everybody's doing okay. So we're just waiting for the time to start. We're starting at 7. Meanwhile, if you have questions, drop us a chat. We'll be happy to answer those for you. right. 6 more minutes. In the meantime, again, if you guys have questions, clarifications, inquiries, drop us a message in the chat. Just opening a parcel right now. Good evening, Jen. How are you doing? All right. How was your weekend, guys? How did you spend your weekend? My weekend came or passed by so fast, but I was feeling productive nevertheless. You guys can hear me okay, right? Or do you think would it be better if I have a mic? I will look for the mic. Let me see where is the mic? Here is the mic. Okay, there is the mic.
No audio, please.
Okay. What about now? Do you hear me now? All right. Yeah, I was on mute all along. I'm sorry. And not in Zoom, but in the mic itself. So yeah, Lauren saying in YC there's so many people because of FIFA. Nice. Um Viva España. Spain won the FIFA. I'm not a fan, so I can't really relate. All right, so time check 7 already. Let's have Jade start today's session with a prayer. Go ahead, Jade. Jade, you're on mute.
Good evening, everyone. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of life and for the blessings of another day. Thank you for bringing us together as we begin today. We ask for your guidance and wisdom as we learn and share ideas today. Open our minds to understand each lesson and help us apply to learn with confidence and humility. May you bless our time together, strengthen our hearts, and guide us in all that we do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you, Jade. Again, good morning, everybody. How was the weekend? How are you guys feeling today? Anybody feeling sick? Anybody wants to share small victory, big victory, small wins, big wins? Anybody who wants to share something interesting, just for a few moments or for a brief moment? How are you guys? Type that in the chat because everybody's muted. Unless you want to speak up, if you want to, please raise your hand. We'll be happy to unmute you. Otherwise, you can tap your response in the chat. Right. Tarzan says she's doing well. We are really looking forward to learning more about the topic today. Great. I feel a little pressured. We're done with US bookkeeping course. Yeah, true. That's a big win. We managed to finish US bookkeeping in 6 weeks' time. So we started with basic bookkeeping for those who have no background at all. We started out from scratch. For those who already are CPA or already had an accounting background, would you guys agree that it was a good refresher? And then we transitioned to QBO, where we spent 4 weeks actually navigating QuickBooks and doing simulated transactions. It was a really good experience, not just for me, but for all the participants. I've seen great learning from most people. I'm not saying all because I understand some have fall behind due to personal commitments and whatnot. Um, but overall, that experience was really great. I saw the buy-in and spirit where everybody's helping one another, and I hope that whatever you learn um, has made you confident to go out there and look for either a firm to work for, or if you're confident enough, go straight with clients. Clients that are looking to get help cleaning up their books or maintaining their books. And what you've learned, be it the manual bookkeeping, bookkeeping in Excel or QuickBooks, those are universal knowledge. So you can apply them whether in your own business, to a client that's located in the Philippines, um, India, or anywhere. But most importantly, it can be applied to look for a client in the US. And the reason why I'm saying US because most businesses are in the US are using QuickBooks Online. Okay, so that would greatly position you to be ready to look for an employer or a client in the US. But don't limit to that. You can again apply that locally in your own business if you have one, or in your local client if you are a practicing bookkeeper or accountant outside of the US. Okay, so yeah, I'm excited for today too. Jerry saying, I learned how to determine now if the taxpayer received recovery. Okay, that's a good news for you, JR. MJ says, kind of tired but excited about the lessons. That's good. So some of you are fully employed locally, and I believe you got off work maybe a couple of hours ago. So I hope you guys already had your dinner, and you're already kind of relaxed right now. All right. By the way, some good news from BA side. We managed to hit our target as to the number of participants for the US tax prep. Um, we actually did on the very first week alone. There were a few who joined over the weekend, which were a great addition. And we still have 2 more weeks, actually, 2 more webinars to continue to promote the course. I'm even thinking, do we still need to have the webinar? But I think we will. So we will have a continuation of the webinar on Saturday. And I'm thinking August 1st, instead of a regular webinar, it could be an orientation day instead, so that everybody can join. We'll have an orientation primarily on how you guys can set up your own ProConnect account if you haven't done so yet. All right. And then what to expect in the course, what platforms you can join us from, if you're enrolled, but you can't access Zoom. The good thing is we are going to be broadcasting the training as well in YouTube, in TikTok, and in Facebook. So if you are a paid enrollee but is on a free data or a limited data, Zoom can take on so much bandwidth. So you can do YouTube or Facebook, just learn or just participate in the or just watch the live class, but you'll have time later on to review, because all the recording will be made available in your portal where you can log in and watch the recorded videos. All the assessments, the activities will also be um, made available in a Google Classroom. So we're going to be creating a separate Google Classroom for US Tax Prep. So only those who have paid for the course will have access to those materials. Okay, but as far as the discussion is concerned, we are going to be making it available for everybody because we want to stray true to our values of being borderless accountant, where we don't necessarily gatekeep. Okay, but we provide premium to those who enroll with the paid program. and that is the access to materials such as the quizzes, the assessments, and your assessments getting checked, getting feedback, get one-on-one support, and a lot more. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen. I'm pretty excited about it actually. It's gonna happen again on August 3rd. All right. Without further ado, let us start today's session. So, again, welcome everyone. Today kicks off our portfolio creation and communication skills module. Over the next hour, we're going to challenge the way you've been taught to job hunt. By the end of today, you'll understand why a plain CV or curriculum vitae attachment is holding you back. And I'm going to personally show you live how to turn your CV, a photo, and a short video into a real portfolio website using Claude. So if you haven't heard of Claude, this will be a good time for you to be oriented with Claude. It's a really powerful tool that you can use for free. There's also a paid subscription. Um, but for tonight, we're going to be using the free version. And then that portfolio you can create in Claude and you can host it for free so that it appears like a website that you can share to a prospect employer or to a prospect client. And then we can use AI to help you guys look for CPA firms that you can possibly send cold applications with a link instead of an attachment. All right, let's get into it. All right, hello to our 15 million live viewers on TikTok. I hope you guys are sticking around because this is really going to be a good exercise. And after this, we'll give you time to actually apply what you will be learning tonight. And also, all right, I have a caveat, but I'll have it done tomorrow, or I'll give it tomorrow. All right, so here's our roadmap for the hour. First, we'll talk honestly about why just attach your CV stopped working. Then I'm going to do a live demo. I'll drag and drop my own CV. That's my own CV that's not very beautiful. A photo that's I'm also not very proud about, and a short video into Claude and show you how it builds a portfolio website in minutes, not hours, but minutes. From there, we'll host it for free on Netlify, so it has a real shareable link. And finally, we'll use AI to find CPA firms to apply to, and I'll show you how to write a cold email that sends a link instead of an attachment. Quick heads up, I'll be popping polls and chat questions into Zoom throughout, so keep an eye on the chat panel and the poll pops up, okay? Or poll pop-ups. And actually, I'm gonna do that right now. So I'll launch one poll and I like you guys to please answer it honestly. All right, so the question is, how many applications have you sent out that got zero response? So if you only send out none to 5, that's what your answer. If you sent out as many as 30 or over, but still got zero response, I'd love to know. I love today's audience, huh? You're answering the polls. While you're answering the polls, let me read the chat. I'm starting the week energized and ready, looking forward to new lessons and activities that will push me to grow even more. Nice one, Jem. What is 15M, JR? I'm not sharing my screen. Oh my God. What is wrong with me? What I have three screens, guys, right now. Um, because I also wanted to share a screen on TikTok. That's why. See you guys in TikTok. Look at my setup right now. It's crazy. Right. So there's no shortage of screen for Chris. And you guys in TikTok, if you have interest in US tax, bookkeeping, again, please uh, join us, follow us, connect with us. We'll be happy to connect with you. I think the screen is too bright. Let me check on, or maybe better now. Okay, I think that's better. All right. The previous slides, let's see. So yeah, that's the first slide. If you guys wanted to know what you missed, that's the second slide, and that's the third slide, which we're currently on. So 56 folks answered the poll. Thank you very much. So majority send out 0 to 5 application, maybe none at all for some people. So maybe you're not yet ready to send those applications, or you don't know where to send applications. That's also okay. I saw some people who've been sending 30 plus applications but got zero response, and about 8 people who did 16 to 30. All right, so let's end that poll. All right, reason I ask is, there may be instances where we don't get responses on our job applications, and it can be very disappointing, right? Or it can be frustrating. So um, it could be because of how we send them. It could be because of the profile that we are sending, or the quality of our CV. There could be many things, and I don't have an absolute solution to that. But what we want to achieve today is to look for an alternative and how best you can get responses on your job applications. Okay, and where to look for a possible opening. Okay. Um, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not probably the best person to present this because I have not been sending out job applications in a while. What happens is, I have a profile in Upwork where I get most of the clients, and I think over time we've built a strong portfolio already in Upwork that instead of me sending out application, they send out job interview invites. So I get invited for interviews, which I'm most often glad to respond to because, as you already know, I love interviews. Um, and there are even instances where I get invited to send out a proposal. Um, yeah, so I have not been actively sending out job applications in a while. Um, Other than or another way I get client is through referrals. So I have, I say, more than five clients in the past that I managed to work with through referrals. So it's also very important that you connect with the right people and join the right community, because that could also be your gateway to get clients. Because, you know, the world of freelancing has become very um, saturated. It has become very saturated. Everybody wants to go virtual, right? So it's hard to get one if you don't stand out. But the people that I have worked with in the past, those who I've introduced tax preparation to, um, they're not looking for clients, because the same thing that happened to me, clients go to them. I know a couple of people that I used to work with. They're very young because they were my former college students. They were reached out directly by clients in LinkedIn. So um, that's why we are spending a good number of session to get to know various platforms where you can possibly get employment and how you can better position yourself. Okay. So this is based on others' experience, a little bit of mine, and a little bit of research as well. Okay. So I know some of you who have availed of courses on how to, you know, position yourself for a client. If towards the end of this week's session, if you feel like there's something that you can also share that you would like for others to know, I'd be happy to accommodate you and give you time to present. Okay. I'd be very glad to also learn from you. Okay, so here at Borderless Accountant, we don't have a monopoly of knowledge and skills, right? One of our core value is collaboration. We learn from one another, okay? And that's also why I don't like to be called coach, right? Nobody calls me coach, because for someone to be a coach, he has to have some, I'd say, number of experience that, for me, um I don't know, just to say it bluntly, I'm not ready to be called a coach, and I don't think I ever will, right? I'd probably be uh, a forever learner, right? Because if you're a coach, you're like, you're putting yourself above every other people. But I don't like that approach. I like collaborative, um, a way of learning where we learn from one another. Okay. So just because I learned so much, I've gone ahead of most of you, that I become an authority or I become an expert. I don't think I will ever become an expert. And I also don't personally like the word expert. That's just so daunting. I don't see it when people call themselves expert. And I also don't like to call myself an expert. Maybe experience, right? That probably is a better word for it. All right. It comes with so much responsibility, correct, and accountability. Not that I don't like responsibility or accountability. It's just that it's my personal preference. Anyways, so again, thank you guys for responding to that poll, and let's get going. So let's talk about section one, the old school approach. Almost all of us were taught: write a resume, save it as a PDF, and attach it to an email or upload it in a job board. It feels productive. You're doing something. But let's look honestly at what that attachment is actually competing against. So here's the reality: recruiters and hiring partners are moving really fast. Most give a resume only a brief skim before deciding whether to keep reading. On top of that, every CV is built from the same templates, so nothing stands out. A CV can claim you're detail oriented or a strong communicator, but it can't prove it. There's no work sample, no voice, no face behind the words. And practically speaking, it's just one attachment sitting in an inbox next to 100 others. Easy to skip and easy to forget. This is a gap we're going to close today by giving you something a CV can never be: a living, clickable proof of who you are, right? And this is about the time I'll share with you my own CV. And I'm not proud of my CV, guys. Not proud at all. Like, um, whenever I'm asked to send one, I would even think twice. I'll show you one. Um, the latest CV that I have on file, because I would like you to have yours ready too, because I know you have, right? You're here because you're actively looking for a job. So I'd like you to have your CVs ready as well. And I know some CVs are already I've seen a lot of beautiful CVs, guys, because now you can ask Chat GPT or other AI to build you really beautiful CVs, right? I've seen those. But as a hiring manager, I don't really look at CVs that much. Um, I go with interviews. I go with introductory videos because in videos I can already tell if you're a good communicator. So I don't personally look at CVs very closely because I just don't. A lot of people can fake CVs, right? Um, and you can put a lot of things in CV that may not necessarily reflect who you really are. All right. So if you guys don't know what a CV is, this is also an opportunity for you to get oriented how it looks like. Just kidding. But I'm sure everybody knows what a CV, right? All right. Look at how crappy my CV is, right? And again, I'm not proud of it. This is crappy. I know I can do better. But that's just it, right? A three-pager CV and with all the bullet points, and that's it. Like, I know it's scrappy, but I don't send that CV a lot, right? I don't send that CV a lot. Um, and if yours are better, good. Um, and again, I hope that you have your own CV handy with you right now because we're going to do something about that CV. Okay, we're going to turn it alive. All right, so that was section one, your CV, right? Now, section two is the heart of today's session. Instead of sending a static file, we're going to build something that lives on the internet, that anyone can open with one click, and that actually shows who you are. I'm going to build mine live in front of you right now using Claude. So next is asking, what's the difference between a CV and a resume? A lot of recruiters interchange it. Honestly, I'm not an HR person, so I also don't know. But I don't technically know the difference. But what I know is as a CV is a shortened version of a resume, right? So when they say CV, that's very concise, brief. But if it's a resume, it's more detailed, right? So that's how I would explain it, next. And most of the clients, based on my experience, they would call it CV, not a resume. So send me your CV, right? So a CV, don't put too many words in a CV because it's not a resume. Okay. There's so much responsibility that comes. All right. So thank you for that question. And I hope that if you guys had the same question, you're not sharing in YouTube, not in Zoom. You're sharing Chris, you're sharing screen in YouTube, not in Zoom. Huh? I'm kind of confused. I'm not sharing my screen in Zoom. You guys can see my screen right now. Okay. What is Jade referring to? If you can clarify that, Jade. So you're not sharing screen in YouTube. I'm broadcasting in YouTube, but I'm not opening YouTube. So in Zoom we are all good, right? And I know in TikTok too, we're good because I'm just projecting my phone. Uh okay. If you can look into that, Jade, I'd love to also check because I just checked. We're using Restream, the application for uh to stream our various platforms. And I'm looking at it right now. It looks like I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so maybe. All right, so. All right. So have you guys heard of Claude before? Maybe I can conduct a poll. I just need to know how many of you are familiar with Claude. Where is my polling? Or maybe I'll just rephrase it. Have you used Claude before? Because some of you may have heard it, but not really used it. All right. Please answer this poll. By the way, this is read as poll, not Paul, guys, okay? Poll is poll, not Paul. Just wanted because we're in comms already. It's like toll gate, right? Toll gate is not T, is Toll. It looks tall, but it's toll. It's like with the W. All right. All right, I'm interested. So for those who have heard about it but has not used it, answer no. Okay. So I'm interested because there's already 14 people who said they know they've used Claude before. Genevieve is using it for Excel reports. Christine, I'm sharing my screen. If you are like in Zoom, and if you're not seeing it, that's probably your internet connection messing up with you. Jason, is Claude better than ChatGPT? In so many ways, yes. Claude is so much better than ChatGPT. Um, I think one thing that ChatGPT is good based on my personal experience, and I haven't been using Claude and ChatGPT in a long time. ChatGPT is faster in terms of response, and in terms of photo creation, ChatGPT is also way better than Claude. But there's a lot of things that Claude can do that ChatGPT cannot, and one of that is what we're going to be doing, what we're about to do today. All right. So out of the 58 people, majority have not used Claude before. And I'm glad that there are 18 people who are using Claude. That's good. And I've only been introduced to Claude in the past couple of months, and I've been exploring it and been loving it so much. Thank you guys for sharing your answers to that poll. Now we know again that there are about 40 people in the room who have not used Claude before. So this could be a really good learning experience for you. All right, so let me open a window that I can share on my screen. So for those of you who have two screens, this is good. You can follow along. For those who don't have a second screen yet, just watch it. And then if you want to do exactly what I am doing right now, uh, do it at your own time by watching the recording. Okay. Because again, this session is recorded. You can replay it so that you can do the same thing at a separate time. Okay. So let me just go and click on search Claude in Google. So this is Claude. And there is a free uh, subscription that can already do a lot. But if you have a paid subscription, even better. So let me see. Am I already logged on? No. So let me log out because that's my personal email. So I'll say I'll continue with Google. So this is me like accessing it for the very first time. So if you have a Google account, just log in using that Google account. All right. So I just need to agree to the terms. I don't have to subscribe to the promotion because it's gonna fill in so much of my inbox. So I'll create that account. All right. So either you use it for personal or with your team, up to you. It doesn't really change. I'll use personal for now. And these are the subscription. So you can use it for free, and these are the features that you can enjoy. These are the paid subscription. You can pay 17 if you do yearly, but if you do monthly, that's about $20 plus VAT. It turns out about 22, I think $22 a month, but it allows you this flexibility. One important distinction between a free and a pro subscription is you can have the Claude desktop application running on your computer. So there is a desktop application that can do more powerful things. Okay. But we'll not cover that today because this is not a Claude session. Or we can do another webinar on Claude separately, but that will be for another time. And then Max, I don't even want to talk about it because again, we're just going to be using it for free. All right. So again, there is a desktop application. You would only be able to use that if you have a paid subscription. So we're skipping that for now. All right. So just hit continue on that. And then of course you want to put your name. And then you can set this up for later. All right. So there. Now you can start working on something. Okay. There are two features that I'd like you to be familiar with. There's a chat and there's a project. Right. So if you want to be organized, you want to use project because project is it's like a folder, right? Because if you do chat every single time, your chat section will be full with so many chat. You may be hard to look into previous chats if there's already too many that you have accumulated over time. So project is how I would stay organized. Okay, so now I would say new project. I would say this is portfolio creation. All right. And the same with ChatGPT. If you have used ChatGPT, this AI is prompt driven. Okay. So you can plug in any prompt that you would want on this website or on this AI. So what I like to do here is I attach, right now, I'm not gonna do that. So I'll attach my CV, that very basic CV that you just saw earlier. I'm gonna attach it here. And I would tell the AI, I typically talk to it like it's a person. So I'd say, hey, can you create a portfolio for me? You can do whatever prompt, anything similar, maybe even better. That simulate a website that I can host through Netlify later, so I can share, so I can get a shareable link. I can send a prospect, employer, or client. Attached is my CV. Also a photo. I would say, please make it professional looking. So it will do the editing also. And an introductory video that I'd like for you to embed into the portfolio. Okay, so that's exactly what I would prompt it. Very short. And then, so I'll attach a photo of myself as well, and a video intro. So I'll attach here a video intro, very basic also. I just recorded this last year. And I just woke up when I recorded this, so I sound terrible. I look terrible. So judge me if you want to. I don't mind. I'm just gonna look for the picture. Give me 1 second. And I know you have it in your folder or wherever. I know you have a CV. If you have not, if you don't have an introductory video yet, please create one. You can use Loom, Loom, to record a video of you, or any. You can use your phone, as a matter of fact, too. But please make it beautiful. Don't copy me, because again, what I did, it was just something that for personal consumption when I was doing it. So I'm gonna do just that, and I'll hit send. So while waiting for Claude to generate that portfolio, I'll show you one that I created also already. I think earlier today I did create this. So this is one version that I created. So this is what you can share, a shareable link, right? You can share it to anybody, right? So this is what it came out. Very, very basic. Again, guys, caveat, I'm not a web designer. I don't have an eye for aesthetic. I don't have an eye for design. That's not me. So whatever whatever Claude provided me with, I just took it. right? Very basic, nothing fancy, but this could be improved by prompts, right? You can always ask AI to make it better or appear how you want it to. Okay, so this was me. This was the result of this very prompt. Okay, so I have now a profile where it's clickable. So if you go to summary of my experience, the tools that I have used or that I'm familiar with, my credential, and the contact information is here, right? And most importantly, I have a clickable video that introduces, right? So it talks for about a minute and 57 seconds, or about 2 minutes, right? So this is so much better to send to a prospect employer or client than this crappy stuff, right? Like you compare this. It's not. Let's compare this versus this. What do you think is going to get you an email from a client? This, which everybody else is sending, right? Everybody else is probably sending this versus this, right? And mind you, a lot of business people, they would use their phone, right? They use their phone a lot to open emails. Now, if someone attaches an email or a CV in an email, it's so hard to look. It's so hard to look at a CV, PDF CV on a mobile phone, right? But this one, this is a website that actually blends in a mobile phone, right? So this is highly um, this is clickable on a mobile phone, so everything can be uh, visible on a phone. Plus, even on a phone, the video introduction can be played, right? And if you do very well in that video introduction because you make a good pronunciation, you make a good impression, after watching that video, if you scrolling down, you have your contact information, that employer can reach out to you almost immediately if, again, you strike a really good impression. And you also have a menu on top. If he doesn't look at it like, okay, I have a video, I watched Chris introducing himself, then I want to reach out to him, I see a contact tab over on the top, I click on that, it directs me to where I can connect with him, right? So what do you guys think? Is the one on the left, the CV, the PDF, better than what you see on the right? Let me know your thoughts. Can we also make a video attached on the website on how to prepare a return? Of course. So if you're someone who's doing bookkeeping, JR posted a really good question, right? So you want to prove to the client that you know how to do books. So you can do a Loom recording of these are the recording of myself preparing a cleanup on books. And you will share your screen. That's why you have to have Loom. If you guys are familiar with Loom, I hope, where you can share your screen while you're recording, you can. So that's a really good question because this one is very basic. You can add so much to your website because this works definitely like a website, right? And you're even able to host it for free, guys. So as opposed to sending a CV, sending out videos of you demonstrating what you do as a bookkeeper, as a tax preparer, as a virtual assistant, can get you more responses to a job application or client hunting. Copy? Can you change the background? Of course you can. Again, it's just a matter of doing the prompt in Claude. You can also ask ChatGPT to make the prompt. Correct. Only those who have the link can access the website. What if I search Chris Ayadi in Google? Will this appear? There is a way that you can, Jason. That's a good question. But that's for another time. You can promote a website. You can actually host it as a website, and you can do an SEO, right? So that you are searchable in Google. Your website can be searchable in Google. Like her question is, if I can search Chris Ayadi, I don't think so. I don't want to search myself. I may be surprised what would come out. But let me just say Borderless Accountants, right? Because the Borderless Accountant is a hosted website. See, it shows up our website because this website is hosted. See, there is a domain, but you have to pay for it. But if you don't want to pay, although it doesn't cost so much to host a website, guys. It doesn't cost so much. I think this is $50 a year. And plus you have to buy a domain. This is a domain, right? And that's why you were wondering why Borderless Accountant without an S. It should be accountants, right? But Borderless Accountants as a domain was already taken. So I had to change it to without the S so that I can still use the Borderless Accountant name. Okay. So if you have a website, this Netlify.app it could possibly be taken out. But if you use Netlify, there's a lot of hosting, free hosting sites out there. I just use Netlify. You can use it for free because it's sitting right on top of Netlify, right? You don't have your own domain. But if you want it to be purely your own website, you can also do it. And mind you guys, it takes so much to build a website, right? It takes too much time. It costs a lot of money before, but now with Claude you can build a website in matter of minutes. Okay, so that's what we're doing, right? We just did that earlier, so it's still reading now. It's only been how many minutes since we started this? It's not been 30 minutes yet, so let's give it time. So it's doing its thing, right? But let's wait for it to render. But our goal is to do exactly like this. Okay, so while we're waiting on Claude, let's wait. Let's oh, see, it's already done. All right, but before I open that, let me maximize this. So before I open that, let's see your questions. Can you send the link that the one that you created, Chris? I have already. Um, I don't want to because I'm not proud of that link, Kenji. But I can send you the link that we're creating right now. Okay. Or even if I don't send it, you can actually look into it because by typing this code or this address on the browser, you can actually see the same thing, right? Because this is already in the internet. This is sitting on the internet, right? So let's go click on what we just came up with. Let's download that thing. No, this is not exactly what I wanted to. It did not get what I wanted to happen. So the same thing with ChatGPT. If you're not happy with the result, you can always instruct it. Okay, so in the interest of time, I'll just share with it this website. Okay. Hey, that's not quite what I wanted. Can you do something similar to this. So I'll just prompt it to what I have already created. So while it's doing that, I'll just show you the prompts that led me to that website. So I used my other account to produce that. So I'll just show you the prompts that I did, okay? Again, in the interest of time. Yes, you can delete in Netlify, okay? All right, so okay, so I'm just logging on to the other Claude that I have for using the other email that I have, or my personal email, just so to show you the prompts that I use to be able to generate the website that I just showed you. All right, so this was my personal Claude account. This is again free, as you can see on the lower left side of the screen. It's free. Uh, did I not save that project? Give me 1 second. Okay, this one. Converting CV to online portfolio. So this is what happens if you do chat instead of a project. So it will sit right on this one here. So this is what I exactly did. And I don't know if it would get you timestamp, but this is what I did. I attached my CV. I even did a very simple prompt. I just said, attach is my CV. Can you convert this to a portfolio that I can host online? Very simple, right? And then it gave me this result. And then I added, hey, can you embed this video introduction and maybe do some polishing on this video? Right? So it then gave me this result. And then I wasn't happy with the result. So I said, can you make the video available to watch within the HTML, please? Because what it did was it provided me a portfolio on HTML, but it also edited the video separately. But I want it embedded. Embed meaning I want the video to be on the website itself. It's like if I download this, this is what it gave me earlier. So when using AI, be sure to um, use good prompts. Okay, it's like you talking to a web designer. So this is what I had. Oh no, this was already the end result. But prior to that, it did not embed the video itself. So I asked it, can you make the video available to watch within the HTML file, please? So then I told it to include my video, and yeah, it generated me that result. So this was the very prompt that I used to create that very simple website, right? Didn't take me hours, guys. It didn't take me hours to be able to build something that you have just seen earlier, this one. So that was the exact prompt. And I'm trying to replicate that with you live right now. So let's wait for that to finish so that I can, after that, I can show you how to host this in Netlify so that you can have a shareable link. Okay, because if you don't host it, you can only view it in your local computer. Okay. So while we're waiting, let's read through your chat, guys. If I have additional information, can I add directly on Netlify or need to still use Claude. You will need to use Claude. Netlify is just gonna host the website, but it's not gonna make any changes on the website. It is like lovable but not free. Nice to see you back in the live session, Sean. All right, all right, I can already already have a portfolio prepared, but it's lack of tools that I can use in my work now. Right. I think Grace also has her own portfolio. Right. So that's good. I don't know if you included a video of yourself, Grace, but video is game changer, right? A video of you introducing yourself, what you've done, can already or the client uh, a good overview of your com skills, right? And from a perspective of someone hiring, I'm really big on comms. I'm really big on comms. And based also on my own personal experience doing interviews, I typically get hired because I communicate well, right? So that's why you need to also really invest in comms. And when you go in front of a camera, record yourself, do some rehearsals, right? Ask ChatGPT to provide you a script, right? That you can read over and over, get yourself critiqued, you know, so that make sure you are able to get critique on your pronunciation, if you're pronouncing the words correctly, or on your pacing, your intonation. You know, you want to get a really good impression before an employer. Okay. The video that I showed you, I never showed it to anybody because this video is crappy. It's crappy, but I promise you, I will share with you actual interview sessions of myself, um, where you will see how I navigate an interview. Okay, not mock interview, guys, but actual interview with actual clients. Okay, and that will come later this week. Robert is sharing his portfolio. This is really nice, Robert. I don't know if you have put a video of yourself as well here. I hope that you do, because again, video, but I include a video, but it needs to embed in the website. So you have to embed it in the website. Otherwise, um, let's see, portfolio 2. Right, so I don't know what's going on. This is not what I like. Um, this is, this is not what I hope to see. Um, so let me prompt it one more time. Okay. So that's how I do in Claude. Like, I talk to it like a person, right? I don't talk to it like it's a robot. That's just me treating it like a coworker, right? So let's wait for that. Or even if we don't get that result that we're looking for right now, because we only have 1 hour left, we already have the file, right? So if I go back to my earlier Black account, right? So I already have this downloaded. So this is how it should look like. It's an HTML file. And if I download it, It's gonna sit into your downloads folder, right? So once you're happy with the result, then you can start hosting it. All right, so it's gonna look like that, right? So see, this is locally saved. Look at the address bar. This is locally saved, meaning it's sitting on the drive C of my computer, right? And if I go to my downloads folder where that exactly is located, so as you can see, this is that file. This is sitting on my downloads folder, and this is that file. You cannot share this with client, right? You cannot. I can try. I can give you this file. I'll drop this in the chat box. Tell me if you are able to see it. Can I attach it in the chat? Right. So I'll prove a point. I send that same file in chat. See if you can open it from your end. I can open it because it's sitting on my local computer. But if I send it that way, guys, look at into chat, see if you can open it. Do you guys see? No, right? Again, because it is in my computer, right? It's sitting on my computer. So for you to be able to share it, that's going to be the next part of what we're going to do. We're going to host it, okay? And we're going to use Netlify to host our website, or the one that we just created. So let me open Netlify. Oh, you can open it? You guys are powerful. I don't know how you do it. It's weird. But even if you're able to open it, look at the address. Look at the address bar. It looks odd, right? Like you don't want to share a link that looks like that. Can you play the video though? In the one that I shared, are you able to play the video? Oh, interesting. Right. That may work. But again, you don't want to share that in that, you don't want to share it in that manner because it looks terrible as far as the address is concerned on the address bar, right? It looks unprofessional. So, right. If you're able to open it, that's good. But we're still gonna host it. I'm gonna show you how to host it. So let's go to Netlify. It's not Netflix, it's Netlify. Right. So you can publish that into the web, and then you can sign up if you haven't done so. Again, it's also free. All right, so you just have to fill all of this information in. So it's up to you how you fill that in. All are required because you cannot continue if you don't fill in those required fields, okay? So now that you're here, you see here, upload your project files. So this is where you drag and drop the file, okay? So if I'm gonna go back to my downloads folder, right here. I'll just say drag that over there. And then I'll say rename and deploy. So now that file, it's going to look like this. The link will look like this, right? So it's now hosted. You can share this link, but this link still doesn't look good. It says friendly Griffin number plus Netlify that app. So you want to personalize it. Let's do quick setup. So change that name, right? Change that name to, let's say, whatever name. Like you can do Chris. I don't know if you can capitalize it. No, you cannot capitalize it. Right, so it's gonna stay all in lowercase. So just say Chris Ayade CPA, something like that. Right, and it's gonna tell you if that name is gonna be available. So you want to have your name in it. It's more personalized, right? You don't want this friendly Griffin name. So if you update that, now if you have a domain, you can add it, but we'll not talk about that. The domain meaning you have your own website already. Let's say chrisayadecpa.com. That's a domain. So, or like borderlessaccountant.com. That's a domain. But let's not do that because it's going to cost you money, right? So now I have a shareable link. Even if you go through your own website right now or your own Chrome account, just look up chrisayadecpa.netlify.app. You can already see it. So I'll open another browser, for example, here. Or let me open up another. Say this one. So I'll just say Chris Ayade CPA.netlify.com. Oh, it's not found. Maybe I had it wrong. What is that website? Netlify.app. Now I can see it, right? Because now it's in the internet. So you become searchable, right? And again, I'm not proud of this CV. This could be better, but this is just for demonstration, okay? And this is the only video introduction that I could ever find in my computer, right? I have never recorded any other video. So can you add more videos if you want? You can, all right? You can. But the point is you can quickly, like it's even less than an hour, guys, right? We were able to do it in less than an hour, create a website, host it for free. Okay, so now this will sit in the internet until you remove it, right? So imagine you are commenting in someone's post in LinkedIn, for example. You are coldly applying for a job. You say, hey, I look at your post and looks like you need a bookkeeper. Maybe I can help. You want to get to know about me? Click on this link, right? Instead of attaching a CV, right? Because attaching a CV, you'll have to send that through an email, but you don't have their email, right? Because you're following them on LinkedIn. And in LinkedIn, you cannot easily email people based on how they set their profile. Okay, so that is the quickest way that you can share your portfolio without having to send them an email. Make sense? And that's exactly why on the very first day of the 2 weeks portfolio and communications and job positioning module in this intensive course, I intentionally put together this material so that you can create your own and start. Okay, this is what ChatGPT Claude put together. So this is another version, right? So this is what we did. And again, we were able to create it in a matter of minutes, not hours. So this is what it came about, right? And then let's see the video. Is this clickable? So there's also a download CV. There's an email me. Um, let's see. Right. So it did better. It gave me a better result than what I expected. I like this. I like how it looks like than the first one, right? So there is a lot of ways that you can create your portfolio. Depends on how you want it to look like, right? You just have to make your prompts, right? And again, what we did today, creating this website, very simple prompts, not complicated prompts, and we did it for free. Copy? Do you guys see yourself doing the same thing? Because I'm gonna require you to do it. Right? So part of your submission is to create one, okay? To create one and submit it by Wednesday, okay? In Google Classroom. So I'd like you to create a shareable link. Be as creative as you want to be. If you already have Loom, I've been talking about Loom, right? I'll share with you what I have been doing in Loom for many years now. So if I go to Loom, I subscribe to the premium version of Loom. So I have a desktop application already and I'm able to save a lot of videos. I think it's $20 as well, but there's also free version for Loom that can make you record like um, 5 minutes video. So I put together all these videos, all my consultation calls, for example. I even have US tax preparation course recording. So you can record your screen while you're doing bookkeeping or you're cleaning up, you're preparing returns, and you can download that video. See, you can download that video. You can even share the link, right? So what I'm saying is you can create Loom videos of yourself building your portfolio, right? And you can embed those videos in your portfolio, right? So if you're someone already well versed with ProConnect, so a lot of you are asking, do we get a chance to get hired if we don't have that experience yet? This could be your chance, right? So when you're sending out application, record your screen. You're preparing a tax return. Say, for example, you're preparing a 1040 tax return. You're doing a simulated tax return. So you can say, hey, I may not have an actual tax experience using, or you can say in that video, this is me recording myself preparing a 1040 tax return. This is simulated with all these tax documents, for example, and I will show you step by step how to do it in ProConnect, right? So if you send that over to an employer, a recruiter, that can get you noticed, right? Instead of sending that person a CV, and that person may have actually received more than 1,000 CVs, right? So yours will get buried. But if you send it differently, with you already showing that you are actually preparing a return, that can get you noticed. Okay. So that could really change the game. Make sense? Can we add testimonials and output? Definitely. Definitely. So make your own portfolio, be as creative, put up all those recording. And you know how I did it, right? When I said I wanted the video to be in that portfolio, I just asked for uh, Claude to embed it, right? So I just said, I'd like for you to embed the video in the portfolio. That's how you command uh, Claude to properly execute what's in your head, right? Make sense so far? And one thing that I also need to tell you is because if you are on a free plan on Claude, Claude works in credits. So you have a for free accounts, I'm not sure how many credits are available, but with Claude, when you run out of credits, you will have to wait several hours for it to reset. So, like for example, this one, this actually I ran out of credit at some point, so I was not able to continue. But what it would do is it would reset, usually 4 hours. After 4 hours, then you can continue unless you buy credits or unless you upgrade your subscription. Copy? So that's how powerful Claude is. Um, you would want to learn more about it because that can also be a good addition to your CV, right? Anyone who knows Claude um, can be a really good, help or as an employee, as a contractor, because Claude again is a very powerful tool. Use you cannot use Chat GPT to build you this website, right? You cannot. I've tried it. It doesn't allow me. It would give you step by step, but it would not build you the website. All right. How are you guys feeling so far? Was that a lot? Paul is saying you can also do this in Chat GPT Codex for free with more generous limits than Claude. I did not know that. I have not again. I made a disclaimer earlier. I have not used both Chat GPT and Claude extensively, but it's good to know. So you can use Codex desktop app. Right, nice. Paul, if you're be willing to share with us how you do it, we would be glad to accommodate you maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. Just give us a chat, okay? We'll be happy to accommodate anyone who also wants to share in the community how they build their portfolio, okay? Um, maybe Robert as well. If you, I saw that you have your own portfolio. I saw one earlier. Let me scroll up. Mary Grace, you also had your portfolio. Maybe you can share some information with us how you do it. Um, because again, guys, I don't use it for my personal consumption, right? Because I'm not job hunting. I'm not even client hunting, and to be honest, um, I have so much on my plate right now. Um, so I'm not the best authority to tell you more about portfolio, um, about how best to project yourself. Um, but at least this gives you the idea, right? Um, it depends as long as you understand the code before you will hard code it. I don't think you need to know coding for you to use because this ones the one that we did, this actually involved a lot of codes, guys. So on the back end, there are HTML codes that were generated for us to be able to host it. Let me see. If I go here, you see this? If you click here, you will actually see the code on the back end. Let's wait for it to load. But you don't have to do the coding yourself. Claude is doing it. ChatGPT is doing it for you. So if you have your own website, um, you can just copy the code. And that's what I've been doing in the Borderless Accountant website. Whenever I do a landing page, for example, this one that I create. See, this is the code, guys. So this is the code. See, that's the code that is being created on the back end. You don't have to. These are what software or programmers do, right? Or coders. This is what they do. So that before it costs so much to build a website because it's a lot of work, right? It's a lot of work. But now you don't have to be a coder. You don't have to be a software engineer or anything like that to build your own website because it has been made available for you. Um, so you don't need to do this if you have again a website that can host or that can you can just copy paste the codes into. This could also help. So I'll share you one that I have done. Hold on a second. So for example, maybe you have some of you have seen this already. Okay, so this is called a landing page, right? And mind you guys, I've also created this in Claude. And I don't have, I'm an accountant, right? I'm not a programmer. I have no experience in doing website, but mind you, this landing page, as you can see, this is hosted under the domain borderlessaccountant.com, and you see US tax prep course. That's a customized domain, right? Or a customized web address. So you know that it's hosted. So this one, even the timer, right? All these, I created this via Claude, right? And what it does is instead of sending a lot of messages back and forth about the course, we just send this landing page. It tells you pretty much what you need to know, right? And if you're ready to enroll, it's just going to prompt you to another landing page, right? So there you go, right? That's another thing that we built through AI. So that's to just for me to magnify with you what you can do, right? With the age of AI, how you can build instantly things and with the right prompts. Again, it really matters. And that also boils down to how good you are as a communicator, right? If you are good at communication, that means you can speak your mind, you can articulate what's in your mind, you can provide instructions, whether it's someone who is a real person or AI. That's why you really have to build a good communication skills. You have to be understood, right? Because a lot of us has a misconception on communication. Um, a lot of people think it's about being good in English, being good in pronunciation. It's not. For me, it's not. Communication is when you understand and when you're understood in a conversation, right? Because no matter how good you are with English, if your words don't resonate or if your words are all over the place, your thoughts are all over the place, you're not understood. You tend to there's a lot of speakers out there who are really good talkers, like they pronounce very well because their English is their first language, but when you listen to them, you're not getting a point from them because they're not structured, they're all over the place, right? They can't teach because instead of teaching, they're giving you too many information at once. So that's not being good at communication. They're good at talking, but they're not good at communication, right? So communication really is you being able to understand and you also being understood. Okay. So you have to build around that, because if you're a good communicator, you can also be a good communicator in AI, right? Because AI is prompt driven, right? If you can't get your head around what you want, AI can't do it for you, right? And the same thing with people that you're working with. You sometimes you get frustrated because your instructions on what you want to happen is not being delivered by the person that you're delegating the task to. And you blame that person right away without you thinking back and say, did I give the person the right instruction? Did the person understood what I gave him or her as instructions? Right? Because tendency for us is we blame other people. We don't look at ourselves and say, hey, maybe I did communicate the instruction poorly, right? So, you know, there's a lot of ways we can learn communication, guys, right? And we'll tackle some of those in the lessons that we're going to be covering in the next few days. Not very many, right? Not very many, because we don't have all the time in the world. But mind you, we are already doing that in our class, right? One thing that I'm very cognizant about in our class is, one, we speak in English. Why? Because you don't learn without practicing, right? So I teach in English, I practice what I preach, right? That's very, very important. That builds credibility, okay? And I'm also asking you questions that I hope that you answer, right? A simple question like, how are you? Right? You may think it's basic, guys, but it could be a defining um, question that could might make or break you. Okay. Another thing is structure. We make it a point that our course is structured in a way that every day is not too much information. Okay. We structure it in that way so that things are digestible. Okay. So what I'm saying is communication skills is already built throughout the class. You're not just learning it in the next few days, but you have been actually learning it from the day one all the way to the last day that we are going to be spending together. Okay, so I encourage you to practice it. Okay? Don't just listen to me. Ask questions, ask clarifications. Um, what else? When you're asked to present, or when you have given the opportunity to present, right? Raise your hand, ask your question. That's how you make yourself better at communication. You cannot be better at communication by just listening. You have to be doing the talking as well. Copy? All right. So let's see what you guys shared in chat. I'm a little behind. Is it good to add our US bookkeeping and QBO certificates in our portfolio? Definitely. So if you guys have certificates, that's one good thing to show in Claude. Maybe you can ask Claude to say, "Hey, I don't have certificates because, guys, I don't collect certificates. I don't even know where my, you know, when I was confirmed as an enrolled agent, the IRS sent me that certificate that I'm enrolled. I don't even know where it is. I honestly don't know where it is. I'm just not fond of those freaking certificate. I don't know. But I respect those who does create collect certificate, because it can also build a brand or credibility. But I don't know. Based on experience, I just talk, and that's my that speaks volume about myself already. Okay, I don't have to prove myself by sending you certificate. Many times, guys, many times. That's why I didn't feel the need to update my CV, because many times I'm not even asked for a CV. When I get interviewed, I'm not asked for a CV. So that's why I didn't feel the need to update it. My LinkedIn profile, if not because of Borderless Accountant, it would have been so empty. Right? Um, that's just how it works for me, but it doesn't mean what works for me may not necessarily work for you guys. Okay, so if you guys are looking at posting certificates, maybe you can prompt it maybe you can prompt ChatGPT to say, "Hey, can you create a tab where I can show off my certificates or something like that?" And then you will attach your certificates, right? And unfortunately, I don't have one because I don't have a certificate that I have saved in my drive. None, zero. Um, so there you can attach all your certificate and then update the prompt. Okay, so that's a good idea, Lou. That can be something if you're, especially if you're like a QBO pro advisor. I know QBO provides that certificate. If you want certificate from BA, we'd be happy to provide you certificate. If you want recommendation, like a video recommendation from a client, if you want a video recommendation from me, let me know. I can provide you one. But you have to excel in the class, because I don't just like give my recommendation very, very lightly, because it would make it, what's the point of making a recommendation if it's available to just anybody, right? You also have to earn it. Okay, I don't mind sharing a video, but you have to edit it, right? I'm not good at editing, I'm not good at aesthetics at all, but I can give you like a minute video, like, hey, I know Mary Lou, we've been working for a couple of years now, and I know she's good. She's good at doing, she's fantastic at doing bookkeeping. She's very, I like her work ethics. She comes on time. She renders more hours than I'm expecting her, but I appreciate all her work. I can do those for you, right? But again, you have to earn it. Yes, I don't give it too lightly. So yeah, that's how you can build a portfolio. Yuli May, Jay, there is a different world around me. Am I the only one? This is interesting. It really is interesting. I know. I'm not alone in that world. Um, this is Robert's idea to add certificates in the portfolio, which submission will be on Wednesday. Right. So submit your work on Wednesday. Again, be as creative. What I showed you is just a guide. Okay. It's not the be all and the end all. Add as many stuff that you think would make your portfolio stand out. Okay. And we'll be happy to look into those. And maybe if I have time, I can critique those as well. Create it with a mindset in mind that it's something that you will share to everybody. Could be a prospect employer, a prospect client, to a friend you want to be referred by. So that make it as good as you can, you know, or the best that you can produce, right? So be very, very good at doing your prompts in Claude. If you're not happy with what it provides you, tell it. Be upfront with Claude. Say, hey, I'm not happy with the result. Can you maybe make it more feminine? I like the color pink, for example. So I like the touch of pink. I like some flowers, maybe. I don't know. Do whatever floats your boat, okay, if you will. So I love to have that on Wednesday, so that we can start looking into those. And because we'll be covering tomorrow Upwork, Online Jobs PH, LinkedIn. I'll share what I know, okay, and from the research that I know, because again, I'm not the authority in these areas, because I don't send out applications. I don't say it with um, sounding like a braggart, but that's the reality. I don't actively send out applications, so I'm not the best person to talk to you about it. So if you guys are more experienced in the area of job hunting, because you've been doing it for a while already, please talk to us offline so we can give you time to present tomorrow. Okay, because what I will come up with tomorrow's material is again mostly based on research and based on the little experience that I have on these platforms. Okay. So, and then Wednesday, we'll be looking at all of your portfolio, some, maybe not all. And then Thursday and Friday, we are going to be watching my own interviews. All right. I would want you to critique the interviews as well that I personally did. And I already prepared a lot. Let me see. Um, where is that folder? So these are actual clients. I had a lot. I had so many interviews, but um, I have to like scroll up and down on my Loom account, and it's been like 6 years since I'm collecting videos. So I'm only able to share a few for now. But whenever I have time, I'll look for more so that I can share more. And I'm thinking of putting this into Telegram so that, you know, maybe one way or another you can learn from it. You can learn from what I did very well, and you can also learn from what I did poorly. Okay. I'm open to critiques, guys. Um, so where did I save that? Right. So I saved several of these videos. So these ones we're gonna be watching Thursdays and Fridays so that um, you can learn from actual interviews. So what you know what to expect, you know what the questions are like, my personal approach in doing interviews, and you can ask me questions after. Okay. Chris, is it okay? My first project is my relatives. What do you mean my your first project is your the one that you'll be sending your portfolio is your relative? If that's what you mean, Sharina, then I don't think that should be an issue. I will transfer my portfolio from Lovable. What is Lovable, Asuncion? It sounds like a really nice name. Um, Let me go back to your chat, guys. I can prepare in Chat GPT Codex. They also have hosting called Sites. I think they just started it last month. Well, can you present tomorrow? Like, we'll give you 30 minutes and then maybe a few slides if you will. I also like to hear from you. Looks like you're very experienced. Um, and then others guys who also want to present their experience in job hunting, because maybe we can learn from you, right? Like maybe I can also learn from you. And again, this is an environment that's collaborative. We'll give you guys chance to also present. Okay, we don't have a monopoly of learning here or experience or expertise. We're all learners, and so we call each other by first name. Okay. um I'm using Gemini in building business plans, logos, etc. Yeah, I've heard of Gemini. I have not used Gemini, honestly. But Gemini, I think, is owned by Alphabet, the same owner as Google. For me, AI is more convenient now with right instructions, with core understanding. You can tweak whatever. Yeah, true. If you're not using AI yet, oh, think again. You have to embrace AI. Will not replace your job. It's gonna just make you more efficient at what you do. Okay, so start learning. It was also very late for me to adopt AI. I only learned, or I've heard of Chat GPT from my previous employer back then, but I did not use it because, like, for one, I thought it's just about composing email or responding to chats. And my first apprehension was that I don't want to use it because I may become dependent, right? I may become too dependent that I cannot compose my own thoughts independently anymore. But that changed because the moment I started using it, I was so amazed. This is freaking good. Right? And then since then I embraced Chat GPT, and then another colleague introduced me to Claude less than 2 months ago, and I started looking at it. What we were doing was we did sensitivity analysis in Claude, and it was just so freaking amazing. Like, this job of doing sensitivity analysis could take days, months, because was working the same thing in when I was in Saudi. We would do budgeting, forecasting, and a lot of that involved sensitivity analysis. It would take. We would usually start the budget around August. It would last until December. So that was crazy. But with Claude, we did sensitivity analysis in a matter of days, right? And I was so amazed. And that's when I started to discover what else Claude can do. And there's a lot of YouTube tutorials in Claude too. I watch a lot of those, and that really helped me open to so many more capabilities that it can do. Not just Claude. There's a lot. There's a lot of creators who are sharing what they know about these AI tools. Um, some of them are asking for payment. I enrolled one myself. I paid 4,500, I think, for a Claude course, and I only was able to do day one. um, because I got so busy. But I hope to get back on track on that, because I really want to explore Claude and all of its capabilities, um, because it really makes work pretty efficient. Um, so yeah, I was able to upload my portfolio by uploading my CV and portfolio of Chris. ChatGPT patterned his portfolio and created mine using my CV details. The next thing to do is the Loom to add in the portfolio. Tried Loom for free before, but now Loom asked me to pay. Is there other video recording? I don't know. If there are other video recording tool like Loom out there. I have not explored any other tool when I started using Loom, because I just love Loom instantly. You can embed a YouTube video as alternative. Yeah, so you can post your content in YouTube and then get the code, the embed code, as an alternative. I will transfer. Okay, sell in progress because of the payment. Um, it would it be worth it to invest in tools like Loom and Claude? I would say so. It is, because like I don't think there's any point where you will stop using them, right? So if you see that you will be using it for a long time, then might as well invest in it. I even invested in ChatGPT, the Go um, plan. I think if I pay less than 200 pesos a month, I like it because it's generative. It stores information about you, so that it talks to you like it's a friend, or like you don't have to um, tell it a long story for it to come up with something, because it already knows you. Like one example, Chat GPT. Recently I applied for a Shenzhen visa, right? And Shenzhen visa has so many requirements. One of the requirement is you have to have a detailed itinerary. And what I did, I just um, asked ChatGPT to say, "Hey, can you come up with like a um, uh, 2 week itinerary that I can use to print that I can print and submit to the embassy?" And because it already knows me, because I use ChatGPT to search for the requirements, right? And so it came up with an itinerary that reflected my personality, and it said, Chris, I know you as someone who likes politics, economics. You are someone who don't travel for the tourist spots. You like museums. So it generated an itinerary based on how it knows me. So that was just so amazing. Like, and then it generated a Word document, and then I just printed it off, and then I submitted it to the embassy, and long story short, I got approved. Right? It didn't take so much brain power to create an itinerary. Again, because ChatGPT already knew me. All right, Paul, I'm seeing your hand
Hello.
raised. Yes, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Actually, Claude used to be the industry standard in like creating websites
Mhm.
using prompts, but now Codex is catching up, and so far Claude is very it's not very generous, and even if you're in a pro subscription, you often hit the limits. But if you want to try some features of Claude for free, most of them you can do in ChatGPT using Codex. It's more capable. And also, For Gemini, the problem with Gemini free is that they train your data, so you cannot use Gemini free if you want to ask some client questions or like converting bank statements to CSV files. So you can't do it in Gemini free because they will train your data on that. But where Gemini is good at is analyzing links in YouTube. You can try it, like find a link in YouTube and then try to post it in Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT and ask and prompt them to like summarize this video for me. Like only Gemini can give you an answer on that because they have access to the YouTube backend. So that's all. And also for Lovable is good, but it seems like they have this cyberpunk theme or style, and usually you know that a portfolio website is prompted using Lovable because of the cyberpunk theme. So so it depends. But if you want to try some features of Claude, you can use ChatGPT for the meantime.
All right. Thank you for that,
That's all.
Paul. Again, looks like you're very knowledgeable. Would you be so generous to show us tomorrow in a presentation? We'll give you an hour or two, however many hours you want. You're unmute.
I'm not sure because currently I'm using actually Squarespace because I already started my website in Squarespace. Um I already tried using um Claude also
Mhm.
and ChatGPT, but I did not use a hosting for them yet because sites are not available during that time. And I think GitHub Pages is also good for beginner. Actually, you can also use Canva using the MCP server or Notion. You can also prompt ChatGPT or Claude to make your website in Notion or Canva. Those
Mhm.
are free, but the website will just have this. For example, in Canva, there's like Canva in the domain, but you can use it for free hosting. And Notion, it also has like your website dot Notion dot sites, I think, but you can use it to try and host your
Mhm.
free portfolio website.
All right. Thank you, Paul. We'd love to hear more about that tomorrow. We have only 8 minutes left. But guys, that was a really lovely discussion. Would you agree? Did you guys learn something new today? Something you feel valuable? Can I see a thumbs up? And before we finish, let's just continue to read through your comments. Coming from a person who don't have any experience in providing bookkeeping services, it feels like my portfolio will be empty. Okay, same. I don't want to include my clerical experience. Maybe we can create a Loom video on how we did the assignments. Yes, good idea, Tiffany. What you did with BA, you document that, what you learned from it, demonstrate it. Um, and you don't have to have the experience again, because like we all have to start from somewhere, right? You don't get to 0 to 10 without starting at 0 or 1, right? So you don't give up just because you don't have experience. That means no opportunity will come to you. So just keep trying and keep innovating. Okay, there's always a way. Chris, can you just quickly go back how to put the HTML I have created in Claude, the screen? I'm not sure what you mean, Christine. Quickly go back how to put the HTML I have created in Claude. So what you do is you download the HTML file, go to your downloads folder, and if you are in Netlify, you just drag and drop. That's how you, if that's what you mean, Christine. Sure, I asked my cousin in the US to be my first client as a bookkeeper. Oh, nice, Charina. So yeah, if you know people in the US, like a relative, a friend, start with them as your first client, right? They can be your first client in tax preparation, right? And then from there, ask for recommendation, ask for referral. Um, it's a good start. So see, Asuncion at her age, Asuncion is already dual citizen, but she's well versed in lovable guys. So if Asuncion is able to navigate AI, no reason you guys can't, or the rest of you can't. Um, Paul, I think we've already unmuted you, unless you want to say something more. Carm, can you unmute Paul? I see Jem's portfolio looks very impressive. Beautiful photo.
Um, Actually, I attended like 2 weeks ago a seminar on QuickBooks. If you're using Claude or Codex, you may find these skills. Actually, they're QuickBooks or Intuit is planning to put that natively in QuickBooks on their next update. I think within this year, like accounts receivable skill or like financial closing skill. Because instead of us creating our own skill in Claude, they're planning to integrate it in QuickBooks. Or I think in Pro Connect also, but I think they're having a hard time for now in using it for tax. But for bookkeeping, they already have a roadmap.
Oh, nice. So that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, if you're stuck at bookkeeping, not thinking about upscaling, AI can really take over your job. Is bookkeeping easier to really integrate within, or AI can easily get integrated into the tools in bookkeeping because it does not involve a PII. You already know what a PII, right? Privately identified information. Bookkeeping does not involve PII, but tax prep does. That's why it's hard for AIs to penetrate the tax prep. All right. Thank you, Paul, for sharing that. I was like, can I get the HTML code? Anna, you came in at 8:49. We will be sending you the recording. We are making it available on the portal, so you can go back to it as a guide. All right. So I guess everybody said yes. I think yes, you just have to connect your Plusing CPU on. Okay, I think that was an answer to Shawnee. I think there was a question from SJ Paul. Are you familiar with Strikingly? I think it's also a free hosting website. Had an experience using it before also, but that was like post pandemic. All right, so they guys are talking alien stuff that I no longer am very familiar with. Obviously, I'm not in that territory, guys. I'm not in the AI territory just yet. Um, but I'm also learning. I've been learning a lot. I've been loving the AI capabilities, and it's not too late for me. It's not too late for you guys as well. And some of us are already ahead in the game, and so we would love to learn from them as well. All right. Yeah, Chat GPT Codex. I've heard of it, but again, haven't get the time to really explore it. Coursev and Even Real. I've tried Coursev. It's kind of expensive, but I never really gotten any far. I had to unsubscribe because at that time I think I was traveling in the US, and I never had time to learn from their material. But it looks pretty good. I just really didn't have the time to um, work on what they need me to work on. Um, but yeah, otherwise, guys, it's been a great session. And for you who came in late, the recording will be made available. Hopefully, the team can make that available tonight. I know Lloyd is in charge of making the recording available in the website. As soon as it's available, we will send you guys an email or a chat in Telegram so that you can go over the recording and follow along how I did it. So you can do the same thing, maybe even better how I did it. Okay. So don't limit yourself to what I did. It was just very basic, but if you can do a lot of, better work, please do so. Okay. I'm excited to look into your portfolios on Wednesday. Okay. So I guess that's it about for today. Again, thank you so much for joining us. To the millions of viewers in TikTok, hello there. I was not able to respond to any of your comments if there were any. I got busy with my other screens. To the 12 million in YouTube and 3 million in our Facebook page. Thank you for joining us. We'll broadcast again live tomorrow. And to all everyone in Zoom, Paul, who else? Shawnee, Christine, uh, who else was there? JR. Those who really participated in that chat, I really appreciate you guys. And to all the rest, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same channel. And just like every day that we do, we close our session with a prayer. So this time we'll let us call on our friend, is it Janelle? Yeah, Janelle, who will close today's session with a prayer. Go ahead, Janelle.
Can you hear us, guys?
Yes. You're on mute, Carm. We can't hear Janelle. All right. So apparently we're not able to hear the prayer from Janelle, but that's okay. I know that we were praying because we can see you, but we cannot hear you. God definitely heard you guys, and that's good enough. So thank you guys again for today. I'll see you tomorrow. You'll have a great night ahead. Bye bye.
Recording stopped.
All right. I think we did very well today. Save. All righty. 4 million people in TikTok, thank you for joining us tonight. It was a great run. We're gonna be doing live session again, same time tomorrow. And occasionally, when I have something to share, I also go live on TikTok. So if you have not followed us yet, please do so, so you are in the know if once we do live. Okay, because some live we do unannounced. Okay. Again, thank you guys for today. TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you guys for joining, and you guys have a lovely evening ahead. Bye bye.